welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom, and this is going to be my February update for some DVDs and Blu-rays. So we'll get started with the DVDs first of all. First one I'll show you is the Ritual. This was I think in America it was a Netflix one, and I absolutely love this movie. It's one of my top 10 movies of last year. Unfortunately, you cannot get a Blu-ray release of this as of yet, so I wanted to get it, so I picked up the DVD, which comes with a slip. Yeah, an absolutely fantastic movie. Can't recommend this one enough if you are a horror fan and you've not seen it. Next time we're going to talk about is the Snarling. Snarling was I saw this as a screener that I got sent a short time ago, and it's very much like the werewolf equivalent of Shaun of the Dead. It's not a particularly scary movie. It's obviously it's considerably lower budget than Shaun of the Dead, but it's extremely funny if you kind of appreciate kind of British humour. So I really enjoyed this one. Very, very funny. Very kind of like just non-stop jokes all the way through. And we actually got a little mention on the cover of that one as well, so that was quite nice. So yeah, I'd be wanting to get this one on Blu-ray as well, if I can kind of find it, possibly from Germany one day. A couple of other movies with some quotes on. The Immortal Wars. To be honest, I didn't really like this movie, but I think we have got a quote on there. Dragon Wars. Now this is actually featured in another video. I won't go into it in this one, but basically I was misquoted on this one. But I have a couple of quotes on there. Just see my my vlog number one for that, the whole story with this one. West of Hell. This one was actually reviewed by Aaran from Screenstars, and I believe there is a quote from him on there somewhere as well. I should have really looked where it is, but there is one there somewhere. Okay, now we get into the cool stuff. This is a DVD steelbook of one of my favourite war films, which is really little known. 84 Charlie Mopeg is actually a found footage film, and this was really before found footage films became a thing. So 84 Charlie Mopeg is like a kind of a US filmmaker, like deployed to a kind of a unit in Vietnam, and he kind of films this unit going on a mission. And it's I really enjoyed it. It's low budget, but I think it's a really decent kind of Vietnam film. And this is a nice kind of German steelbook. Obviously would like to get this one on a Blu-ray. Not available on Blu-ray, but it's got quite a grainy picture, to be honest. But I'm pleased to pick it up on a steelbook format. A couple of other DVD steelbooks. Actually, now I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I had a couple of Marvel steelbooks that I still needed to get. This is one of them. The other one is a Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer version. This was a French steelbook, I believe, this one, and it's just the Iron Man 2. I've got the DVD, it's got the Blu-ray equivalent of the steelbook, but I didn't have the DVD, so there it is. This steelbook is actually a double dip. I actually already have this, but this is one of the rarest Marvel steelbooks you can get, but it gets completely ignored. And I saw this for incredibly cheap, and it was just a crime not to buy it again. I have no idea why I bought it twice, but this is actually the Man Thing Dutch steelbook. It's the only limited edition version you can get of this film. There's no Blu-ray release of this one at all, not even in an Amaray case. So this is the only version you can get, which has got any type of like collectability to it, really. And it actually has an extra disc, so it's actually got some special features, which your kind of standard Blu-ray doesn't get. So yeah, this is a really, if you're a Marvel collector, you should really try and hunt this down, because like I said, it is one of the sort of more forgotten about kind of Marvel movies. And this doesn't come up very often. This is kind of why I saw it, and it was just so cheap. I thought, screw it, I'll just buy it again, because it's just like it's such a kind of it took me ages to get this in the first place, and I thought, nah, oh well, I'll double dip just because I just like Man Thing's one of my favourite characters in the comics, and yeah, there you go. So we'll move on to some Blu-rays now. So I got a couple of these kind of VHS style boxes. This one's a UK one for the American one for London. This one is an HMV exclusive. As you know, they've recently had some troubles. They've been rescued. They've kind of come out of administration by been bought out by another company. But I don't know if they'll carry on doing things like their exclusive releases such as this. So, you know, it's kind of worth picking a couple up. I did actually buy this one for someone else, but they never actually got back in contact with me. So there it is. So I'll keep it for myself. But I also picked up, this is a Target exclusive Stranger Things, again kind of a VHS style box, though it is actually larger than, and I thought, oh yeah, these will all be kind of nice and uniformed. No, there's a whole different size in a minute, I'll show you as well. So this is the US one. Now UK, we don't even have this on Blu-ray yet, so I was kind of hoping the UK would get a steelbook for it. But as of yet, it hasn't been released on Blu-ray at all. So I saw this on eBay for only £15, so I thought I'll pick it up. So yeah, it's a kind of nice little package, quite a heavy set. But this one's nice and sealed. So I'm not as a big fan of the season 2, so I probably won't bother getting that one. But I enjoyed season 1, so yeah, I picked up this package. And then another DVD, Blu-ray slash VHS kind of set. This one is the Puppet Master, and this one's bigger again. So this one is for the original Puppet Master movie, and this one actually features a toy of the character Blade. And again, I sort of picked this up for just over a tenner on eBay. So, and I'd actually pre-ordered this on Amazon when it first came out, but they cancelled the order. So to pick it up for kind of a very cheap price, I was kind of quite happy. As you can see, it's new and sealed, and you know, I quite like the original Puppet Master. I think the series got progressively worse until the reboot came on, but this is a nice little fun release. Now we'll have a look at some steelbooks. Do apologise if I'm sniffing, I've got a bit of a cold here. So Tropic Thunder, this is a German steelbook for this kind of this fun action comedy that stars Ben Stiller and Robert Downey Jr. in probably the last documented case of blackface on film that we'll ever see. And yeah, it's quite a fun movie with some kind of quite memorable scenes in it, and it's got a great cameo by Tom Cruise. The Guardians, I picked this one up on Amazon for £5. Haven't seen it. Probably can't see it because this is a German DVD, a German Blu-ray of a Russian film, so it won't have English subs on it. So I can't even watch this kind of version of it. But I just thought it was a really nice looking kind of steelbook, and for £5, you can't say no, can you? I picked up from Zavvi the Walking Dead complete 6th season. The only one I haven't got that's been released so far is season 8. That's with Ezekiel on the cover. So this one's kind of has got it up to date until that point. So what I'll do is I'll get that one when it kind of comes down in price. This one was just over £20, so you know I don't mind spending that much money on it. But I'm not paying like the £35 because quite frankly the series isn't that good anymore. So there you go. That is Walking Dead. I got Mel Gibson, Edge of Darkness. This is an Australian Blu-ray steelbook. So Australians are actually, I believe, Region B, so that's going to be okay to watch that one. And so Beyond Skyline, I had a skinny of this one ages ago. It was a really fun movie, and you have this German steelbook. There's also a French steelbook, which has got a different design on it. But I prefer the design of this German one. For me, because I don't tend to watch the steelbooks, I tend to keep them sealed. So I don't really mind so much about what's got better features or better transfer. I'd more go for what's on the how it looks aesthetically, because I don't tend to actually watch these. I just collect them. This is a Arnie and Stallone movie that I haven't actually seen, Escape Plan. I understand it's quite good, from what I've been told, but I've never got around to watching this one. And this one is the UK Zavvi release of this movie, with quite a kind of stylised cover there. If you can see, you've got Arnie and Stallone kind of on there, and you've got their kind of, you know, their eyes there and there. So I think it's an interesting kind of looking steelbook, and it was, you know, it was in their Zavvi sale, so it was okay to pick up. And then we have this Johnny Mnemonic. This is actually a metal pack, so in case you are unawares, metal packs have slightly different spines to a steelbook. This is what makes them the difference. And this was, I think it's called the Turbine, yeah, the Turbine Steel Collection, which is a German kind of release. And this is a, it's got an interesting cast. So you've got obviously Keanu Reeves, you've got Dolph Lundgren, you've got I think it's Ice-T's in there. It's got, you know, so it's got an okay cast actually, this movie, but it's like a cyberpunk film, but it's actually limited to 2000 and it's actually numbered there. But it's kind of not very well revered, if I'm honest. People don't really kind of tend to kind of think that. I didn't mind it, I've got to say. But this Turbine Steel Collection, you've actually got a few interesting kind of releases on there, but they tend to be quite expensive, so I thought I'd pick this one up before it got too much. So, what's an update going to be without some Marvel movies from me? So the first one I'll show you that I've got on Blu-ray Steelbook is the Venom Steelbook. Now, this one was originally the HMV exclusive, but obviously with their troubles, they sold a lot of their stock to other companies. So I got this one from Zoom, which is another kind of UK Blu-ray ordering place. But this is essentially the same Steelbook that you got most over the world. Same design, so there you go. However, there's also a second Blu-ray Steelbook that you can get in the UK. There's actually 5 different designs of Steelbooks that you can get all over the world. There's 2 in the UK. There's a Japanese one, which I have on pre-order. There's also a Blue Fans one and a Film Arena one, all with different artwork. So we'll see. I might end up trying to get all 5, but it might be a bit pricey. This is the Zavvi one. I don't like this one as much as the other one, to be honest with you, but there you go. So this one is, I think, a Singapore release for the Avengers. Now this one is just the original Avengers Steelbook with just a big A on it, but this one has this slip cover on it, sealed, and it was one of these ones that was different enough to kind of warrant a purchase, and I kind of found it on eBay for quite cheap, to be honest. And I think with Steelbooks now, the older ones tend to get kind of ignored because people kind of want to collect like the Blue Fans ones. So ones that were kind of expensive at one point, now you can get for a lot cheaper. I mean, even the kind of the Future Shop Iron Man I've seen kind of go for less than £100 now, and that's what was at one point one of the kind of the most grail Steelbooks around. So this is the Marvel Avengers Singapore one. So this is the Avengers trilogy. This one was a Zavvi exclusive, although I do think you can get it in other countries from Amazon and places like that. This one was actually a pre-owned one, and I picked this up for next to nothing. I was so pleased to get this. One of the few kind of outside of the kind of the premium ones. I need to get the Avengers 1 and 2 Steelbook, but this is the trilogy. Yeah, so this was like £40 from Zavvi when it came out. I was like, I ain't paying that. So I got this for next to nothing, to be honest with you, on eBay, so I was happy with that. Some of the older Steelbooks that have eluded me for a while were the original X-Men trilogy. Now these ones were released in the US and Italy. This one is a US version, and the problem with the States is that you're trying to import anything from there, and you're paying like 3 times the value of what you're actually thinking, because you've got to pay for the item, the postage, and then the import tax. It works out trebling the cost of of what you want to pay. So it's extremely expensive to buy anything from the States. So this one I was lucky enough to pick up from a UK seller who had already bought one. So I managed to kind of get this for obviously a lot less money than having to import it from the States. I think this was a Best Buy exclusive in America. Now I'm going to leave it there for a second because I'm going to show you the next one kind of alongside it. And the reason I'm showing you this one is because this is X-Men 2, so it's the same series, but this is actually the Italian version. So the American one, as you can see, would have had this kind of this J card. The Italian one does have a J card, but it just doesn't hang over the top, so it's a little different. So I've got X-Men 1 on the American version, and then the X-Men 2 on the Italian version, which are actually more expensive. And again, I picked this up from eBay for, again, not expensive because people don't look at these steelbooks anymore. They just tend to look for sort of blue fans and stuff like that, and you can get these sort of older steelbooks that were really expensive once upon a time for not a lot of money. The cycle of collecting is interesting, I think. There you go. And then we got the third one, which is back to an American one, as you can see here, because the J cards, X-Men Last Stand. So now I have, and the more recent movies were actually released in the UK in this sort of style. So now I have the full set of them. So it's X-Men Last Stand. I think again the Best Buy version. Just trying to kind of plug up the holes in my collection of kind of like ones that I don't have steelbooks. This is a French X-Men trilogy, the original trilogy. It's a jumbo steelbook. And this one again, it just goes for next to nothing now. So you can kind of just plug up those holes in the collection for the older ones. But they'll go up in value again. So, my tips for collecting are don't let these kind of older ones slip through the net while you can kind of, pick them up and finish up your collection. And next up we have the X-Men trilogy again, this one being the Spanish version, and this is again the original trilogy. So yep, that's 3 trilogies I've bought of the original X-Men in 1 month. You heard that right? Yeah, but this is so now there's different trilogies for you've got different ones in different steelbooks for Spain, Italy, French. I've got 2 different trilogy steelbooks, plus all the singular editions. Oh yeah, and I'm sure there'll be an English one at some point, but there you go. And my final bit for this month is this Spider-Man Legacy Collection. So this actually has the 3 original Raimi movies and the 2 Andrew Garfield ones. Now this one's actually unsealed, so I can kind of show you it. So what it is actually 2 separate steelbooks. One with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films on it. And then the other with obviously the Andrew Garfield movies on it. And they sit in this kind of like this set here. You can actually get, which I actually do have, is the 4K version, which has actually got different artwork. So yeah, I'm pleased I've now got both versions. Though finding a case of this one is actually quite difficult. So that is it. That is my update for February. Very Marvel heavy this month. Next month I do have a few media books on order, so we should have a few different kind of media books turning up for next month. So and a couple of other Marvel items, just to plug up the holes in my collection. Anyway, thanks for watching. Any of these kind of releases tickle your fancy, let me know, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.